You'll remember in the specs for this project, the line project, that you need to have a 1-inch border around all of the panels. Let me bring my panels into the scene here. So here are my panels, all 4 of them. Effectively, you will be doing something that looks like this as I piece them together here. Now there's going to be an inch border around all the sides, and there's going to be an inch border acting as a window lattice in between these different panels. So I'm going to demonstrate how you'd use your T-square. You could do the same thing with the ruler, but a T-square is going to be quicker for this. So with the T-square, I'm going to take my Bristol board and I'm going to make sure that this is flush right up next to the edge of my Bristol board pad that I'm going to be using as a platform. And I'm going to use, that was my X-Acto knife. Going to line up this T-square where it's 1 inch from the side and 1 inch down. I'm going to place a little dot, just like that. Okay, now, knowing that there's a 1 inch border on the outside, I know that this is 1 inch, so that means this is gonna butt up right next to a panel. Remember, the panels on the short side are 4.5 inches. So I can go down 4.5 inches from here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4.5, and I can put another dot. Because this now signifies that 4.5 inch panel side. Right there. And then I can jump 1 inch because that's going to be the lattice buffer of 1 inch between the panels. And then from there I can do another 4.5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4.5. And look at that, that works out perfectly because that gives us that inch at the very end for that border that goes all the way around. I'm not sure if you can see those dots. I'll see if I can bring this up for you to see. In like manner, I'm going to rotate this so I can do the same thing going long ways. Gonna line this up. Okay. Move my T-square over where there's the inch corner, so inch in on the blue, inch down on the metal. Place my dot. And then I get to go 6.5 this way, because remember the long side of the panel is 6.5, and the long side of the panel will be along the long side of the Bristol board. So from this point, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Place your dot, the 1 inch buffer, place a dot, and then 6.5 inches again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. And look at that, we perfectly have our leftover inch for that full border inch right there. I'm gonna rotate this and finish putting the dots on there. Gonna line this up. I'm gonna line my T-square up with a dot that I already had here, because that's the 1 inch, and then this is, remember, this side going this way is going to be 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. And inch buffer. There we go. I lost my place. Okay, so from there, another 1, 2, 3, 4.5. And I know that I'm placing the dots there because I've aligned it with this dot up here that I already had. And now I need to do the same thing over here. Notice I'm placing dots instead of drawing full out lines. That's going to help your draftsmanship so you have less to erase, because all you need to do is align the corners of your panels with the dots that you have on your page. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. Buffer of an inch. And then we can come all the way down here to an inch above, right there. Okay, so I've got the dots for this panel, all 4 dots for this panel. I now need to just finish up this guy right here. This is why T-square can come in handy. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. Let's make sure this is aligned correctly. Inch buffer. And then down here, this guy. Okay. Now I have all 4 of my dots for each panel. So effectively, I will be matching up the panels with the dots I made. Just like that. You'll notice that they don't line up absolutely perfectly, and that's okay. Get them as perfect as possible. And then once you glue this down, erase the dots that you've made.